Hi guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. So in this tutorial, we'll be going through an exam question. So this is more on shapes, so volume of cone, curved surface area of cone. And this exam question is for 5 marks. Now what I would suggest is just pause the video first and read the question first so that you just get a bit of an understanding before, going straight into it. Okay, and then once you kind of have an idea, just play the video back and then we'll go through on how to answer this exam question. So the question here is giving us a solid cone and it's telling us that the diameter of the base is 24x, okay, and then we have a height of 16x, and then it's saying that the curved surface area of the cone is 2160 pi, and then the volume of the cone is v pi, and they're saying that v is an integer, so integer means a whole number, and it's asking us to find the value of v, and this is for 5 marks. So what we can do first is use the information that they've given us and put it into the formula. So they've given us the formula here. The volume of the cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, and then the curved surface area of a cone is pi r l. Okay, and they've given us a shape as well of what l, h, and r stands for in the shape. So you know L is this length, h is the height, and r is the radius. So the first step that I'm going to do is they've given us that the curved surface area of the cone is this value. So I'm just going to quickly write the formula for curved surface area. So I'm saying curved surface area. So actually let's just put area for now. So the curved surface area is pi r l. Okay. Now they've given us a value for the curved surface area, which is 2160 pi. So what I can do is put that 2160 pi in here, right? Because that's the actual value for the curved surface area. And then we'll keep the pi here times the radius. Now the radius, we know that the diameter here is 24x. So what would be the radius if this is 24, the diameter? We half it. So that would be 24 divided by 2, which is 12. But there's an x, so we put 12x times L. So L, if I put times L, is basically this length, right? But we don't know what this length is, so we'll just leave it for there for now. Okay, so that's the first thing that I'm going to do, right? Now obviously we need to find what L is, right? Because it's an unknown. So if you look at the diagram that they've given us here, you know L is this length here, and we can actually find L quite simply if I just draw, this is not accurate, but draw a straight line here, which will give me a 90 degrees triangle. And I know that from here to the center, this is my radius. So I know that the radius is 12x, right? Because my diameter is 24. And we also know this height, because it's given us here, 16x. So can we not find this length L? If I were to draw this triangle here, so quickly just draw it here to show you, right? So that's 12x, and then this is 16x, and basically we want to find h, or the hypotenuse if you like, or let's put L actually, let's put L, so 16x, so that you guys see. So let's put L, right? So we want to find L, which is basically Pythagoras theorem, right? So what we can do is we can say L squared is equals to 16x squared, or 16x all whole thing squared, plus 12x whole thing squared, right? So basically you just want to find what 16 squared is, so 256. So if we put L squared here, so that's going to be 256, but then we're squaring the x as well, so x squared, 256x squared, plus 12x whole thing squared is also, it's going to be 144x squared, okay? Not also, 144. So now, if we have L squared, and if we add these up, 256 plus 144 is 400x squared. And if we want to find L, we do the square root of 400x squared. So L gives us, square root of 400 is 20, but then square root of x squared is x, because you know x times x gives me x squared. So I know my value of L is 20x. So far so good, right? So we're just finding L, and the reason why I'm finding L is so that I can put it back in here to then find x. Okay, so step 3, if I go to step 3 now, I'm going to rewrite this. 2160 pi equals to pi times 12x times, now instead of writing L, I know my value of x, which is 20x. Okay, so I've got that there. Now we want to solve for x, but you might be thinking, oh, hang on, we got pi's. Oh, it looks a bit confusing. Very simple, and there's a little trick here that you can do. If you have pi on one side and pi on the other, and if all of them are times here, you can actually cancel them out straight away like that. Yeah, you can divide both sides by pi and it goes. So that means you're left with 2160 is equals to, now 12 times 20 is 240, right? So no, not 12 times 40, 12 times 2 is 24, but then there's a 0, so 240, and then x times x is x squared, right? Now we want to find x, so we're going to divide 2160 by 240, so we're going to have 240x squared. We can rewrite it like this, 2160, so x squared is equals to 2160 divided by 240, so that gives us 9, right? And then if we want to find x, we square root 9, which square root of 9 is plus or minus 3. But which value would you take here, the plus or the minus in terms of 3? It would have to be the plus because we can't have a negative length. So you take x is equals to 3, right? So now what we do, so our last step, step 4, is because we want to find the value of v, they've given us the volume of the cone is v pi, right? So I'm just going to write the formula for volume of cone, which is given here. So volume of cone is a third pi r squared h. Now my volume they've given, which is v pi, equals a third pi r squared h, right? Now again, what we can do straight away is we can cross the pi's out, cancel the pi's out. So now I'm left with v, and I've got a third times, now my r squared is basically my radius, so my radius is 12x, so I'm going to have 12x, right? And then, but all of this is going to be squared, so be careful, radius is 12x, but then you're squaring all of that. Or even easier, actually, just so that it makes it easier for you guys, is we know the radius is 12x, right? 12x, and I know my value of x equals 3, so can we just put x equals 3 here straight away to find the radius? So 12 times 3, so that is 36. So instead of writing all of this here, now I know my r is 36, so I'm going to do 36 squared times my h. My h is my height, which is 16x, right? So my h, if I write it here, is 16x, but again we know our value of x is down from there, so it's 16 times 3, so h is equals to 48. So we're going to do times that by 48. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to times them, all of them out, to get a volume. So that's going to be the, I think I'm missing something, the volume, which is, yeah, that's fine actually, yeah. So if you put this in your calculator, a third times 36 squared times 48, that's going to give you 20,736. And then this is obviously going to be a centimeter cube. And this is pretty much our answer for this question. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So remember, the method is very important, right? You look how I've done the method: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I mean, you can do it in one go if you want, but I've just split it in a way so that you guys understand exactly how I am working through this. And once you're just literally using the two formulas and doing a bit of algebra, and obviously you needing to know Pythagoras theorem to get to your answer. Okay, hopefully you've understood how to answer this exam question, and if it has helped, please give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It just means that I know it works, and yeah, I shall see you on the next one.